My name is Blue Place. I am a half-corrupted elf VTuber. I go by they, them. Hello, hello.
Hi, my name is It's BB, and my pronouns are he, him.
This is Captain Persic, baker in the sunrise, forest protector in the sunset, streamer in the moonlight, and virtual idol and artist of White Studio. I'm a baker VTuber that usually do art, co-working, and variety gaming, and I use she/they pronouns.
My name is Shira Jelly, and my pronouns are she and her.
Itoto Tsuratsuruka Kita. Your sleepy witch has descended from the stars. Hello, hello. I'm Sleepy Solaria, your Saturnian star-colored sheep, here to soothe your hearts and help grant your wishes. My pronouns are she, her, and they, them.
Hi there, my name is Horizon VT, or Ari for short. I am a Grim Reaper VTuber, and I'm here to answer some cozy game questions today.
Hey everyone, I am Stereo-Base, otherwise known as Stereo-Base or Bass. I'm your local pan-fried fish, and I use they/them pronouns.
Hime Tsugi here, or Hime is fine. I am a parrot VTuber, and I go by they/them pronouns.
My name is Ryujin Seshi, just normal artistic guy, wanting to play some games, find some people to hang out with and play on or off stream. Pronouns are he, him, they, them, spin a wheel, call me whatever.
What's your favorite cozy game of all time, and why?
It's Minecraft.
Minecraft?
It has to be Minecraft.
Sunhaven,
Harvest Moon Magical Melody.
My Time series.
Gris and Stardew Valley.
Currently is Fields of Mystria.
It's Minecraft. Even if it's like the simplest answer, I really love Minecraft because you can be as creative as you want to be. Just a simple sandcastle game, especially if you can add a lot of mods that even increases the coziness. Because I want to create like a space safe in a game where I just can switch off from all the stress from the world and just be myself in the game, and Minecraft gives it to me, especially like with the building aspects. I really love that.
I know some people were not fans of the first entry into the series, My Time at Portia, but then they tried My Time at Sandrock, and it really was an improvement on everything, and they really fell in love with it. I'm somebody who enjoyed both titles, and I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy the upcoming My Time at Evershine as well.
One of my favorite cozy games has to be Minecraft. And this is a weird one. I usually like a lot of modded Minecraft that like makes you like super busy and there's like a lot of technical stuff in it. I don't know why. I like to concentrate on that. And it's so cozy and nice.
My favorite cozy game of all time is Sunhaven. By far, that is the game that I have the most hours in. It's hard to describe exactly why I like it so much, but I think it just hits the sweet spot of being a magical game, having so much to do because you have multiple farms to take care of, and honestly just having a really charming cast of characters. A lot of similar cozy games, especially farming games, the other characters aren't fleshed out so much. It doesn't really feel like they're all part of the same town, but I feel like in Sunhaven, they're all really connected to each other, and each one is so unique in their visuals and personalities and everything. Sunhaven is just a comfort game to me. I just go back to it again and again and again. It's definitely my all-time favorite, and anytime I'm feeling really like brain foggy or tired, that's the game I go to.
I really enjoy Gris for its art style. I really love watercolor very, very much, and I think Gris really captured it very, very much. And I also enjoy the emotional story as well as the gameplay. For Stardew Valley though, I really, really like the gameplay of it. It's really good in terms of replayability, and I also have my my all-time favorite love interest Harvey in there, so it's obvious that Stardew Valley is gonna be up there somehow.
I just can never choose. It all really depends on my mood at the time. Games like Minecraft, if I feel like building, or 7 Days to Die, if I feel like a little bit of chaos and building thrown in. If I want a peace of mind, I'll play some Raft. I honestly feel like any game can be a cozy game. It can be absolute horrible game. I know there are some terrible, terrible games out there that people are absolutely in love with, and it's their own little cozy game, and I like that.
I have over 4,000 hours in the game, and I started playing around 2019 during the 1.14 Minecraft update. I personally got involved in Minecraft because I watched a lot of content from Hermitcraft, which is a Minecraft VTuber SMP. My favorite part of the game is gathering all the blocks and finally building my various projects.
Classic Harvest Moon games are a huge comfort pick for me, but Magical Melody always sticks out in my mind amongst them. It's not that it's particularly engaging or fantastic, or even that it has my favorite characters or designs or game systems, but there's just something about it that when I think about cozy game that come to mind, or favorite Harvest Moon, that's the one that pops up in my head. There's just something about it that makes it comfier and more nostalgic to me than the other ones that I've played.
Fields of Mysteria, the game still is in early access, but I have such fun with it. I love all the characters, interactions that you have with them, and the game is super charming. The reason I like it, even though it's in early access, is because the developers do update fairly often. It's every few months or so that they give you big updates. So I am always still finding new things to do in it, and it's just fun to play.
What makes a game cozy to you?
It's an enjoyable gameplay loop that you can at least partially turn your brain off for. I want to be able to slightly dissociate but still make progress and have fun playing games. Secondary to that is the vibe, which they tend to be down to earth or slightly fantastical. Cheery without being saccharine, kind of sweet and homey even. Aesthetics can also play a part, from the UI design to the art style to the overall aesthetic direction of the game. But that's not to say I haven't found games that you might not think cozy to be cozy, RimWorld comes to mind. And that's pretty dreary and violent. But also, that is a really cozy game to me.
When I don't have any goal in the game, where I just can, be myself and create this safe area for me. I really love that, where you just relieve your stress from the harsh world that we're living in.
I feel anything that actually allows my brain to sort of relax whilst playing it. A game that doesn't have you to have to hyper focus on story and lore for you to be able to enjoy the game. It also sort of depends on the atmosphere and the music, or the soundtrack in the game. I feel that plays a big part in giving a game sort of that cozy feel. For instance, if you put a suspense music in it, it's not going to fill you with that cozy vibe. So something that allows you to fully relax and allow your mind to wander as well whilst playing the game, I think gives what makes a cozy game for me.
Anything farming, so Core Island or Stardew or Minecraft, obviously, any farming aspect, that's cozy to me in my opinion. Also, just making it so you can relax your brain and just kind of talk about random things, that's amazing.
Mainly is the atmosphere. I feel we all have slightly different definitions of what cozy is to us. But when the atmosphere feels cozy, then we can say, oh, this is my comfort game, or this is a cozy game. So definitely, the vibes.
If I had to choose between at least two things, I would say story and mechanics. What you have to do in the game, what you're able to do in the game. You have to go and forage for different types of items and materials to make better weapons and tools. I like the whole earning aspect of it.
One word, it's routine. Routine. That's all it takes to be cozy. So I've played some games that they don't seem cozy at first, like Vintage Story, which is kind of historically accurate Minecraft. It doesn't seem cozy at first because there's these eldritch monsters trying to kill you all the time. But that game is about carving out a routine in between all of that horrific stuff happening around you. And so finding the routine of building the house, farming your crops, all of that stuff. Routine is what makes the game cozy because you know what to expect, and especially games in the cozy genre, especially farming games, there's a really easy routine. Like generally you know, okay, in this game I'm going to have to grow crops, I'm going to have to, go mining, I'm going to have to do this, and even games that are slightly different, they still have that same core, and that's what makes a game cozy. So you could have a game that isn't about farming at all, like I've played games that are purely about crafting, or games, even games where, I think I've seen one where it's like Sweeney Todd inspired, so you run one of those meat pie factories, if you know, and there's a routine in that as well.
Do you have a favorite in-game activity? Example, fishing, farming, crafting, decorating? Anything to do with farming, so planting, harvesting, animal husbandry, anything like that. I'm just a farming maniac. I have so many farming games in my Steam library. It is a problem, but I'm not willing to find a solution.
It really depends on the game because some games, these systems are better than others. So for example, I actually really like Stardew's fishing system. So in Stardew Valley, I tend to fish a lot, especially if I'm in a group. And being in a group of people playing also does change the activity that I focus on. But fishing is usually a big one for me. Mining, for some reason, I always, especially in a group, I always end up being the miner. But there's something fun about going into the dark and hacking away at the rocks with your pickaxe. I enjoy it. But then I also do really like getting cute clothes if you're playing a game where there's customizable clothes. And so a lot of times I'll just gravitate to whatever activity makes you the most money, at least at the beginning. And then once I've got my cute outfit, I can move on to farming and mining and all that fun stuff.
I have a couple activities I find myself spending the most time in, which are crafting and decorating.
I have two things actually. One of them is fishing. I think it started from when I did my first save in Stardew Valley. I remember that the easiest way to make money when you start playing the game and you're pretty much a noob doing it is fishing. And I do so much fishing, like way too much fishing, to the point that I think like I did fishing for like the whole first year spring. It's pretty funny thinking back on it. And web fishing, the game has kind of amplified my enjoyment to fishing by a ton. I think like the visuals and the little quirks that they got going on there, sometimes cute and sometimes really funny. I think that made fishing a lot more enjoyable. And the second thing I really enjoy is building / creating stuff. You can definitely see this in Tiny Glade, Sticky Business, and to an extent, I guess Potion Craft is also quite up there. I really enjoy building like castles and all that. I used to really love doing them when I played Minecraft when I was really young. And nowadays, when I look at Minecraft now, it's all about like min-maxing on absolutely everything, and it sometimes get a little bit overwhelming for me, so I kind of like go to like different games to do that stuff now. But yeah, overall fishing and creating stuff is really fun.
It's got to be farming and decorating. I do a lot of decorating mainly in Minecraft, and then other games I'll do majority farming and not decorating because some games I don't know how to decorate.
I really like, it sounds really strange, but I like going into the mines of things. In like a lot of farming sims, you tend to have like a mining section, and that's kind of one of the first things I do. I like giving myself the task of trying to get as far as I can before I pass out. And I think just like finding what the game offers you in terms of like, I'm gonna break this rock, what will it give me? Is it a diamond or is it just another rock? I think is really fun. I also really enjoy interacting with NPCs. I really like talking to them and finding out what their like deal is. And I like seeing like the different personalities that the developers have put in to give their game a little bit of something different.
For farming and crafting items, like some of the items for your weapons, you can go out and forage for them. The better you are at foraging, the better tier items you can find, which then in turn make your weapon even better. I really like that. That's always been a huge thing I really enjoyed, is that whole earning aspect of your gear.
The thing is, in every cozy game ever played in my life, okay, if there's no fishing or farming, it is automatically not a cozy game for me because I love fishing. I don't know why. I just like the aspect of just waiting patiently until you have like a treasure, and it's kind of like gambling if I think about that. What I also love in game activity is to create a daily routine. Here, for example, my Minecraft character, I do like these daily routines of like, in this day you just go ahead and build the farmland, and if the day is gonna end, you go eat something, just like meal before bedtime, and then just sit and sleep. I really like to do that, and it's like daily routines, like in real life activities, what I say.
I tend to cycle through them almost like I'm eating like a meal. Early game, I like to prioritize resource gathering or like refinement and stuff. In farming sims, that usually means I kind of do focus on fishing while your farm isn't super like profitable and while it's still pretty new. And then I gotta craft stuff to make my life easier and my workflow better. And then finally, aesthetics rule. I gotta tear everything down to make it beautiful. I gotta make it cute and efficient. Can't just be one or the other.
When starting a new farming sim, are you all about crops, animals, or the people?
I think in most farming games, you have to focus on the crops first, which tends to be a bit of a shame because if you focus on crops, you actually are allowed to get money to actually do other things. So I feel like they sort of hyper focus on crops first. So I think it would be nice actually if cozy games gave you more of a choice in terms of that, and not like penalize you for instance wanting to raise animals first. Yeah, I think that's sort of what it's like.
I would say I really love the people in the cozy game. I want to know them first before I can explore more of the game, If the people or the characters have like interesting lore or like nice interaction where you just can build up a friendship, it's a big yes for me.
I'd say fishing. I say fishing, but it's not mentioned here, so I think I'd say crops because that's the second thing I would do to make money when I start out a new save in a farming game.
I have a couple activities I find myself spending the most time in, which are crafting and decorating.
I tend to cycle through them almost like I'm eating like a meal. Early game, I like to prioritize resource gathering or like refinement and stuff. In farming sims, that usually means I kind of do focus on fishing while your farm isn't super like profitable and while it's still pretty new. And then I gotta craft stuff to make my life easier and my workflow better. And then finally, aesthetics rule. I gotta tear everything down to make it beautiful. I gotta make it cute and efficient. Can't just be one or the other.
So in most farming sims, you're gonna be starting out with like, plant these 10 turnips, plant these 10 potatoes, plant these 10 wheats. So most of the time, you're gonna be focused on crops and then the people. You don't get animals until a little bit later down the line, usually. So I'm just gonna say the crops.
I'm a mix of crops and people. So like in Coral Island, I love looking at all the crops that I can get and start my farm, but I also take the time to actually talk to the people and make formal relationships. That would be amazing.
I focus on the people first because I want to get to know all the characters, see who's interesting, scope out the romanceables, and then crops, of course, especially because that's usually tied to whatever the beginning tutorial is where they're teaching you the systems and doing all that stuff, so can't get away from the crops. Honestly, the animals are usually an afterthought. Also because they tend to be expensive. So I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't think of very many cozy games where you start with animals unless that's like the main point of the game. Because there certainly are games like that, like Let's Build a Zoo or whatever, where all you're doing is taking care of animals. But in farming games, especially, animals are always saved for later anyways. So for me, it's people, then crops, then animals.
Are you a farming sim min-maxer, or do you go with the flow?
It depends on which game series I'm playing. Right now for Fantasy Life Girl Who Steals Time, I've been min-maxing all of the crafting materials when I make my gathering rounds.
I feel like min-maxing sort of defeats the point of a cozy game. I feel like the whole sort of idea of a cozy game is to not hyper focus. I think it's meant to be like the play style is meant to be, you know, go with the flow, do what you want, sort of take your time with things. Obviously everybody has their own play style that they want to do, so it's not like it's, you know, bad or anything if you want to minimax. I just think for me, I feel like it does defeat the point of a cozy game, but that's just me.
A lot of the times, if I'm going to go like min or max on the game, really depends on the game. It's like Stardew Valley, I will go hardcore on the farm right off the bat. Like I will clear out a large patch of ground right in front of my house, buy up as many of the seeds as I possibly can, and will just make a big old plot of land as soon as I can, even if I come near to passing out several times within the first few days, just so I can get that going. Then once I get to a point where I know I can like keep my farm stable, I'll start working on decorations and kind of the flow of the plots, like kind of like pretty fun. It can be really fun, peaceful. And then there are games like, again, an Ark. I will go all out when it comes to farming an Ark.
I'm definitely not a min-maxer. That kind of stresses me out. I have heard of people that don't like Sunhaven because there's so much to do. They're like, how do I balance these 3 farms and these like 50 different crops? But I just go with the flow. I take it as, yes, there's all these systems in the game, but you're not expected to engage with all of them. You know what I mean? You're not expected to do everything every day. There's literally not enough hours in the day, game time wise, you know? And so I just take it as, okay, I'm going to be in game for many years probably, and so I'll just take it as I come, and I might focus on certain things some of the time and just go with the flow. I don't look up on Wiki, like, what gift is best for this person? Like, I like to figure that out as I go. You know, sometimes chat will tell me, make my life easier, because I'm okay with backseating, but, you know, generally I don't seek that stuff out. Now, every now and then, if I missed something super important, like I accidentally, you know, passed out and slept through, I don't know, the egg festival or something, I may reload my save from the previous day, but that doesn't happen very often, and honestly, I'm pretty lazy, so if something terrible happens and it's already 10 p.m., I'm like, man, I am not going to go through the entire day just to fix that one thing, you know what I mean? So it depends, but overall, I would say, in general, I go with the flow.
I hate is a very strong word, but I strongly dislike farming sim min-maxers. Why are you gonna play the cozy game just to min-max it? Oh my gosh, the whole point is that you go at your own pace. Like, I see all these videos of like making the most money in Stardew in 2 days, and I'm like, no, no, don't do it. So, suffice to say, I'm a go with the flow kind of guy.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I mostly go with the flow, but I do enjoy incorporating quality of life changes in additions to, like, my gameplay.
I pull up the Stardew wiki whenever I play with friends. I also do it when I guess you could say I do it all the time. I think ever since I finished my first ever farm, purely blind, I just start min-maxing everything just to get things done. I like challenging myself. The more you play Stardew Valley, the more you want to challenge yourself. So that's why I think like slowly, I used to go with the flow, and then like slowly after, I start min-maxing everything.
What about a cozy game makes you want to play it? Examples: the art style, the story, the characters, the developer.
It's the story and the characters that just bring it out. Like, I know like some cozy games don't have like that kind of aspect, but I like it. I just like it so much.
It's the story and the mechanics of the game. Again, the stories are just so beautiful, so well put together. You almost feel like it's a live village. It's like all these people are real with how the stories are, the way they portray the emotions. It is so great, and I love it.
Art style's usually the first thing to catch my eye. You know, they say don't judge a book by its cover, but if a game doesn't have a demo, aesthetics and videos are really all you gotta go off of. The premise isn't interesting though, I probably won't have much of a care for it. I'm admittedly pretty picky when it comes to games, especially cozy ones. I'll give everything a try, but that's what appeals to me first and foremost.
I think the art style, honestly, you know, can't help it. It's human nature. Gotta judge books by their cover sometimes. And so art style draws me in first. I'll look at the style of it, but I'm not drawn to any one in particular. Like I play plenty of Minecraft and Vintage Story. I've played more, 3D style games like My Time at games, My Time at Portia, My Time at whatever. Those are a little more 3D style. I've played those. Animal Crossing, of course. And then I really love the pixel games as well, like Stardew Valley, Sunhaven, Fields of Mystria, Core Keeper. So I'm not picky about what type of art it has. It just has to look good or like relatively polished. You can tell when something has taken a little bit too much inspiration from Stardew Valley, as long as it is obvious that the dev team put a lot of love into it, that's really what I'm looking for. But yeah, art style definitely draws me in first, and then I definitely look at the characters, so I see who's romanceable. Is it like a cool different cast of characters, or is it kind of same old stuff? And that's the second thing. And if I'm not interested in any of the romanceables, or honestly if there's no romance, I'm probably not going to play the game, depending on what it is. Of course, like Vintage Story obviously doesn't have any romance in it, but typical like a farming game, specifically something that is purely farming, if there's no romance or social aspects to it, I probably won't play it, honestly, because otherwise, why not just play a clicker game or whatever, And then, of course, reviews and opinions of those I trust, unless it's a dev team or a studio that I'm really familiar with, I'm probably not going to like buy a game on release day or anything. And so I wait it out. I will watch, other people stream it because I'm friends with a lot of other cozy gamers and stuff. And if my friends are like, Hime, you gotta get this game, it's really good, or I watch a stream and I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks so fun, then that's usually a pretty big boost too, especially if it's something that I overlooked or a game that the art style didn't really appeal to me, but if the gameplay looks really fun, I'm gonna go for it, because sometimes things surprise you.
So right now, it's a lot about the art style. I personally am not a pixel style enjoyer. I just know it's probably the most accessible to indie devs, which a lot of cozy games are indie. So we're gonna see a lot of pixel games, as well as the resonating success of Stardew. So that really pushed cozy pixel games into the spotlight. So if I see that you have a 3D art style, that's gonna push me to play it. As well as, the developer. I believe her name is pronounced Eloise or Elsie. Do not come after me, I'm so sorry. But she owns Cozy Bee Games, and she's made games like Lemon Cake, Bunny Park, and recently The Ranch of Rivershine. And I've enjoyed all of her titles that she's come out, so it's really an indie dev that when she announces a new title, I know I'm just gonna enjoy it. So definitely that's the advantage, I think, of having so many indie devs within the cozy gaming space, is that you really get to know a dev, and most of the time they have Discords and they're really communicative, and I really like that.
Usually what makes a cozy game stand out are the art style and how I'm able to gather crafting materials. You gotta make it fun.
I think it's whether or not a game brings something to the table, or something new to the table, that I'm interested in, along with having like its own sort of unique art style. I think that having those things allows it to look different, even if they are potentially following the same premise of like, oh, you're starting a farm. I feel like if they have something like new and interesting, that's what attracts me. Plus, obviously, I kind of mentioned I like talking to NPCs, so having interesting characters within your little world, I think definitely makes me want to play it.
What are some genres you wish were explored more in the cozy gaming space?
I've been really into some cozy eldritch horror themed games such as Vintage Story. I would love to see what other game developers could do within this genre.
Horror. I think the cozy horror thing could be tapped into more for sure. I'm really looking forward to a specific game for exactly this reason.
I feel like a lot of the cozy games I've been seeing, they all usually like stick to one place or one little area. For example, like Animal Crossing, you're mainly going to be in your island, but sometimes you occasionally travel out to collect materials, or you go to Horse Island to take photos and everything. But I wish more cozy games explore the idea of moving places to places and make that like a major point in the whole thing, you know? So like for example, I think Camper Van has pulled this off just fine, where each level that they have, when you sort out stuff, you move to a different place. Unpacking is also up there. When you finish a level, you move to a different room as you progress through the story. It's pretty obvious that I also really like Sky Children of the Light because of this as well. The open world side of that game is really beautiful. The visuals were amazing to cooperate with it, and I think like the developers really put a lot of heart and soul into like making moving around places to places and while also making it replayable because it's a live service game. They make it pretty engaging enough.
There is like a lot of farming games like Coral Island, Stardew Valley and all that, but I wanted one more like a simulator type. Like there's a tavern simulator that has a little bit of farming and you still talk to the people, like stuff like that. I wish there was more of that. That would be amazing. And if there is, please let me know. I would love to play more games like that. That would be amazing.
Honestly, I really wish if there would be more events or like little random quests perhaps, especially in the end of the game where you did all the main quests and there's like nothing left than just achievements, so that you still have like some randomness inside, like some, how can I say it, where you just don't log into the game, just like for example in Genshin Impact, where you just log in, do your dailies, and then, you know, off kind of. Yeah, I just wish there would be like more events so you can still have like...
I really want to see less modern day stuff. Like part of why I like Sunhaven so much is because it's fantasy themed, you know, and so being able to cast magic, like Fields of Mystria, there's more of a fantasy leaning as well. So just things that are more alternate. Modern day stuff is a little boring to me, but I'm like that with my fiction in general. I very rarely go to like TV shows or books that are set in the modern day. It's just not interesting to me. I already live in the modern day. Why would I want to spend hours to just play life simulator that I could just do in real life? You know, I want to have a different experience. So there's that. I also wish that, I don't know if this is a genre, but I really want more nuanced multiplayer. A lot of cozy games, I feel like multiplayer is tacked on as an afterthought. They didn't plan for the game to be multiplayer, and it shows because it just feels like, yeah, it's the same as single player, but now 5 people can play instead, and it doesn't feel balanced, and you can really feel that, and it makes it a lot less fun. So playing games where it's been designed for multiplayer, you know, it's just something that they thought about beforehand. I can really feel that difference and wish that was more explored. I also would like to see more legacy games, so games where it's not just you living your life, it's multi-generations. So like your character dies and then it goes on. So there's games like Echoes of the Plum Grove that does stuff like that. I think Kinseed, I've never played Kinseed, but I've heard that that game has those sort of like legacy generational things too. But I want to see more of that because it is kind of strange when you're 20 years into Stardew Valley and your character looks the same and your kid is still a toddler, you know, it's a little strange. But I know that's just more coding, more stuff. So I understand why not a lot of games do it, because it's a lot to code, it's a lot to plan for, but I do wish I could see more of it. And then finally, I just want to see older characters in general. I feel like a lot of these games are just full of 20-somethings, and it'd be nice to get a wider variety. Usually it's like, it's a bunch of 20-somethings and then the one token older guy, you know, like Stardew Valley has Harvey, Fields of Mystria has like one older person for each gender pretty much. Well, no, that's not true. I guess they have a few of them. But I would like to see a game where either all of the characters are above the age of 30 or at least, you know, a bigger chunk, because as an older person myself, I don't know, I can't relate to a 22-year-old in a game. And so when all the characters are 22-year-olds, I just can't relate to their problems, you know. And so it just, I'll still play it, but I feel like I'm not as engaged with it when they're also young, you know. Like Immortal Life is a game that's like that. I really love the aesthetic. I love that it's, you know, it's Asian themed and all that, but it just, everyone is so young. It just feels strange. Like you know, Coral Island, I feel like balanced this really well. There's like a nice mix of older people and even not romanceables, just older people out and about, and I appreciate that. But yeah, older characters, especially romanceables, please don't have just the one token older character, or even like two. Let's have some more, okay? Like let's older people deserve romance too, okay?
I'd like to see more cozy games that focus on other things than farming. I know that tends to be the go-to for cozy games. But I feel like there are so many different things that cozy games can explore whilst still keeping that sort of cozy aesthetic. I'd love to see more like cozy games that come with a sort of a darker route, or like a mystery that you have to solve, or something like that, because they tend to stay away from like darker things. Because they want things to be like sort of light and happy for the cozy aesthetic of it, but I feel like it would be fun to see something that could still keep that cozy vibe but have a sort of dark undertone.
I want a game where I'm a mailman and do not say lake. I know about lake. I want to run a post office. I want to run a post office. Give me a game where I can sort mail and run a post office. That's all I want. I also want to see more like animal care games, so like Animal Shelter and the upcoming Animal Shelter 2. Really like that. Wish we saw more that were not just asset flips, but you know. Listen, they're just brain off kind of games. You just gotta do it sometimes, but definitely more animal caring games, animal rescue games, vet games. I mean, there's really no vet games, I think, out there that haven't been made in the early 2000s, like modern vet games, unless I'm missing something. But there used to be a lot of vet games coming out when I was younger, and I used to play a lot of them, so missing that, wildlife rescue, anything like that. What is a cozy game trope you're tired of seeing?
Ooh, I'm tired of people, people comparing new farming games, always with Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley. A new farming game, of course, it's like farming game, then of course you will think of those iconic games, but it's not the same. And I wish people would stop comparing that and just, you know, explain more of the new game. Maybe there's like something different than in the games that we always see or play. It's always like different there.
And I'm not too sure about this one. I just know that I'm sick of every farming sim being compared to Stardew Valley at this point. I'm sorry, I am.
I think I'm a little tired of the trope of having to pay back a landlord in the beginning of the game. I wish the motivation of making money is to help support and improve road or some community projects you see.
I'm not sure if it counts as a trope. It's just a general mechanic in a lot of cozy games that I'm sort of tired of seeing, which is like fishing mechanics. I'm so tired of games having a fishing part that you have to do in order to like get 100%. I feel like it's a lot of the time it's just shoehorned in and not really necessary. It just feels like, oh, we need to give you an extra task so you don't complete this super quickly. And so they give you a fishing mechanic, which takes forever, and I don't like it. So I'm not sure if that counts as a trope, but definitely something like that. I wish cozy games would stop putting them in. I'm not sure if it counts as a trope. It's just a general mechanic in a lot of cozy games that I'm sort of tired of seeing, which is like fishing mechanics. I'm so tired of games having a fishing part that you have to do in order to like get 100%. I feel like it's a lot of the time it's just shoehorned in and not really necessary. It just feels like, oh, we need to give you an extra task so you don't complete this super quickly, and so they give you a fishing mechanic, which takes forever, and I don't like it. So I'm not sure if that counts as a trope, but definitely something like that. I wish cozy games would stop putting them in.
One of the main cozy game tropes that I'm tired of seeing is like, oh, you're a new farmer? Congratulations. You get to own your own farm. I'm kind of tired of that. Like, I want to be like, oh, you want to run your own store in this community that you're just moving to? Awesome. You get this one. And then, oh, you also wish to learn about agriculture? Okay, perfect. And like a level up kind of system.
Stop making me restore my grandfather's ranch! I don't care! Oh my god. I hate that. They're like, you're an office worker and your grandfather's dead. Congratulations, you got a farm. You got a ranch. Here's a Hans. Like, stop. We can have alive grandparents, which is why like Everdream Valley was like crazy. I'm like, oh my god, grandparents who are alive? Incredible. Family members who are alive and here, invisible, insane. Can we stop with the dead family?
Honestly, with any game is early access or cosmetics that you have to buy, game pass this, season pass that, early access for 10 years. It's like, no, I am so tired of stuff like that. I grew up in the time where a game came out, it was the full game, not this half-baked, could have made on an Etch-a-Sketch type stuff. Like, it's just, no. They gotta do better.
I want more thought to be put into the plot in general. I'm really tired of the whole you're inheriting your grandpappy's old farm for free, yippee. Like, who in this economy, especially because all these games are like modern day, in this economy, who is going to just give you 40 acres of land for free so you can grow a couple of turnips? Like, come on now. I want there to be more of a reason. Why is your character in this town? How are they integrating with the town? This is something I really liked about Discounty that I played the demo for the other day, is there's a reason for you to be there. You're helping out. Your role is small at the beginning, but will probably expand. It's not just like, here, welcome, here's some free land, you know. I want there to be a real reason why the character is in town, and I want more story support showing like this is how they're integrating, this is how they're getting to know everyone, not just the romanceable characters, because that's something that Fields of Mystria does really well. When you talk to the NPCs throughout the day, they say different stuff. Like, it really feels like you're slowly being integrated into the town. My only complaint is those really fun Friday scenes. It feels really like you're on the outside looking in. And I just, you know, the main character should feel like a character too. And a lot of times they're blank, they don't have any dialogue, it's just a little sad, you know? I'd like to see that more. And then, I don't know if this is a trope, but I want more care put into the different systems, because a lot of games, they feel like, okay, well, Stardew did everything, so I have to have farming, I have to have mining, I have to have fishing, I have to have all the things. But then they don't pay enough attention to each of those systems being balanced and feeling like equally loved. And, you know, I feel like devs, you don't have to be pressure to putting everything in your game. It's okay if you have a game where you don't go fishing. It's better than putting in a really crappy fishing mini game that's like a slog to play and a bunch of uninspired fish that's the same group of fish that you can get in Stardew. Like, oh my gosh, the tiger trouts forever. Yeah, I don't know if that's a trope, but that's something that annoys me a little bit. And also, even from a storytelling perspective, like I said, who is going to be amazing at all of those things anyways? You know, how are you going to be a master fisher, a master farmer, a master miner, like everything? It's too much. So I think having a cast of characters that is wider than just the one main character could help with this. But just, yeah, the chosen one trope, the, oh my gosh, I got this farm for free trope. I'm kind of tired of that, honestly.
What's a cozy game that you thought you wouldn't like, but ended up loving? That's a tough one. I would probably have to say Graveyard Keeper, honestly. Going in, wasn't expecting a whole lot. Saw some interesting reviews of it. I believe I saw an 100 day's playthrough of it and got it. And, you know, although it's very, very complicated and I was very lost at first, just the vibes and the overall gameplay just really blew me away. Like, Graveyard Keeper, 100%. Chef's Kiss, beautiful.
Usually I don't purchase games that I don't think I'm going to like. So I won't buy them. If I see a cozy game and I'm like, I don't think that's gonna mesh with me, I won't buy it. The only time that potentially would happen is if the game was like highly recommended to me by like friends or something. So say for instance, if I was hesitant with a game and I wasn't sure if I'd like it or not, and a friend told me that they really enjoyed it, then I might give it a go. But otherwise, I'm not buying something that I think I wouldn't enjoy.
Generally thought my whole life I wouldn't enjoy like games that are like idle, where you can just have it in the background while you do other stuff. I feel like if the game doesn't give me any engagement or not letting me engage with the game, I think I would drop it very, very easily. But I've discovered that there are some games that took advantage of the Pomodoro timer, and these games are in particular are mostly like On Track, Spirit City, and I think to an extent also Not Monday Cafe, but it's also kind of like a little thing that you can have in your streams as like a little. I didn't think that I would actually enjoy these games a whole lot. I grinded through Spirit City very, very much. I unlocked like possibly like almost everything. I even have the DLC, and I guess Spirit City really, really helped me a lot in terms of like productivity. Not Monday Cafe, it recently just came out, and I really enjoy like seeing all the little animals and like my little employees like doing just like serving everyone in the cafe. And then like there's like a little farming thing on this side as well, where you can grow stuff and you can just kind of let it be while you see all these customers going through the doors, and like you're making money off of it. I think like that's really, really adorable.
At first, I didn't think I would like Vintage Story since I watched a couple of gameplay and was only really interested in the game because of the gameplay, but I wasn't sure if the game would stick. I think the game itself is very rewarding, and it's very good at disguising tedious tasks with some fun mini-games, such as when I smelt various tools, I have to manually hammer in bits and pieces of the ore in the right tool shape. There's another aspect that I just learned where I can bake some pies in the clay oven, and I can see the actual pie rise in the game as it heats up. It's super cool.
Power Wash Simulator. I know it's universally beloved, but I honestly thought it would feel kind of overwhelming. Tedious, repetitive tasks can weirdly feel like a lot of pressure, with no real rhyme or reason for what will or what won't for me. So while it was kind of fun to watch other people play, I didn't really think it was going to be my cup of tea. I was wrong. I actually got super into it for a while. I didn't like 100% it like other people. I didn't get that super into it, but it really was cozy for quite a while for me. I just sat there and was like, oh, must clean everything. I think there's a crime scene one like that I want to try out soon. That seems fun.
A cozy game that I definitely did not expect to like was...
I have two for this. The first one is Echoes of the Plum Grove, which I ended up really loving, and I streamed it quite a bit, but I didn't think I would like it at first because the art style it's unique, shall we say. It's sort of like Paper Mario, but then it's also sort of like just those old cutout, dress 'em up paper dolls that you would get when you were a kid. I don't know, at first I wasn't a fan, just from the cover and looking at the art. I was like, I passed on it originally, and then like I said, when I saw some people streaming it and stuff, I watched it and said, wait, this gameplay actually looks so fun, and there's so many really unique systems in there. It has that generational effect, like I said. Eventually your character dies and you just sort of possess one of your children or whatever, and you just keep passing down the line. And also, it has charming dialogue. Everyone feels really different. There's a lot of different game systems in there, and it's also a more unique setting. It's sort of like colonial America sort of times, and I don't know, like I said, it's not modern day, and so I don't know, I really enjoy it. It's fun. So it's one that I didn't expect to like, but I grew to really love it. The other one is Fae Farm, mainly because reviews for Fae Farm are really bad. Most people are like, oh my gosh, this this game is a ripoff, it's so buggy, it's this, it's that. But I've had a lot of fun playing it. I wasn't expecting to like it, but then one of my cousins got into it and was like, Hime, you should play Fae Farm because it does have multiplayer a little bit. And I got really into it because it's just fun to play. Like, yeah, is it a little buggy? Maybe. If they fixed some stuff, I didn't really have any issues with it when I played it, really. And just having another cool game I can play on my Switch, because a lot of times I don't show my Switch enough love. And so Fae Farm is actually really fun. There's a lot of fun characters, just like I said, the fact that they're Fae, so the dude I'm romancing has like these big fairy wings, I think, and it's just kind of funny. And I wasn't expecting to like it because the reviews were terrible, but it ended up being so much fun, and I still pick that up and play from time to time.
I honestly don't have game like that. Like, when I play a cozy game, I let this game kind of build up to me slowly. I don't have anything that I didn't like originally and, just loved then. I always like cozy games, comfy games, where I'm just have my peace, where I can be slow, what I say, I like it slow.
Do you have any upcoming releases you have your eye on?
The new Fable game that's coming out, that will definitely be one I would be looking out for.
Oh my gosh, there's so many, but I'm going to try to narrow it down because I could be here all day. My wish list on Steam is like a million miles long. Fields of Mystria, of course, because it's not done, it's in early access. I kind of put it on pause because I was afraid to progress too far and then they add more stuff into the game, so I might not play that game again for a while, but I'm looking forward to that full release. And then I have two that are really cool and very unique. They are Welcome to Elderfield and Grave Seasons, which are horror themed farming kind of cozy game. So Welcome to Elderfield has that real Junji Ito vibe to it. It's very retro looking, but it's there's these it's horrific. I don't know how to describe it. Look it up. You can play it now. They have an alpha, I think, that you can get from their Patreon, but I think the demo is supposed to be pretty extensive too. But super excited, keeping my eye on that one. And then Grave Seasons, where I think you're literally a serial killer. Either you're a serial killer or I think somebody in the town is a serial killer. And it randomizes each time you play. So one of the NPCs is a serial killer and you don't know who, and you might romance the serial killer. So yeah, you're growing your eggplants and stuff, and then people are dying, I haven't been keeping as much of an eye on that one. I just kind of see updates pop up about it from time to time, but I'm really interested in seeing how Elderfield and Grave Seasons handle that, because there's, Graveyard Keeper is a game that's cozy and a little more on the macabre side, but it's not quite so doom and gloom. So it's just, I don't know, I think it's funny to have these two games that are very Stardew-esque, but also horrific. I think that's a really cool, unexplored genre for the most part that I'm just excited to see more of it. And then Tales of the Shire, because I am a Lord of the Rings nerd. It's been delayed a few times, and honestly, the visuals are not my absolute favorite, but it's a Lord of the Rings Hobbit cozy game. Your burbs gotta play it, And then the last one that I have my eye on, I think this one is also in early access, so you can play it now, it's just not done, is Seeds of Calamity. Mainly because this is also another one that's fantasy magic style, and like I said, it's a little more underrepresented as a genre of cozy, especially farming games, and so that's one that I have my eye on. It looks really cute, so I don't know, I might just take the plunge and try the early access one of these days, but oh my gosh, my backlog is so long.
Something I'm looking forward to is Grave Seasons for sure. That's that cozy horror that I was mentioning. I'm also looking forward to Fields of Mystria updates, Tiny Bookshop, Floatopia, The Witch's Bakery, because that's me! Lots of really good cozy games coming out in 2025. A couple that have already released this year that you should check out are Kabuto Park, Camper Van, lots and lots of other things, Fields of Mystria early access even. We're eating good this year, gamers. Let's go! Cozy for life! Cozy wife, cozy life!
Currently, I don't have any upcoming releases that I have my eye on. I typically wait for others to let me know what cozy games are out there before I pick them up myself.
I really am looking forward to bookbinding. Is This Seat Taken? The Liftlands, actually, I'm super excited for. And Hotel Galactic, I think it's called. Some of them are in early access, so you can play like demos of it already. But I'm sort of waiting for their full releases before I play those. Otherwise, I have too many that I'm playing currently in early access and not actually finished. Slime Rancher 2, that's another one that I'm playing the early access of the game. But I've sort of reached a point where I can't continue, so I'm waiting for more updates on that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to those for their fully released. So yeah, that's me. Thank you for inviting me and listening to me answer these questions today.
Thanks to Wholesome Games with their Wholesome Directs and all that, I was introduced to Is This Seat Taken and Loftia. I really enjoyed like Is This Seat Taken when there's the demo. I checked out the demo and it's really, really fun. I really enjoy just solving some puzzles with the characters. And there's even like a little extra lore going on as well. I really, really enjoy it. And Loftia, I've eyed on Loftia for a very long time. I remember Loftia was first introduced to me when I was scrolling through Instagram Reels, and I've been following the development ever since. And I cannot wait to see the whole game coming out. I'm really, really excited for it.
I don't really have an eye on any at the moment. I'm sitting here going through my... Oh, wait, no, there is. There is. Collector's Cove. I'm really looking forward to Collector's Cove, and I think it would be so nice and so cozy just to check it out. I hope that becomes something really wonderful for everybody.
It's a witch bakery and Kitori Academy. The witch bakery especially because you can be like a little witch, right? And explore Paris and have like a little coffee shop and just, but I really love that. And the art style is amazing. So yeah, I really gonna be so happy when it comes out.
So definitely, I mentioned it a little bit before, but my time at Evershine, like I said, really enjoyed my time at Portia, my time at Sandrock, so I'm sure I'll enjoy the third entry into the series. Also, I have to mention Story of Seasons, Grand Bazaar. Y'all know it, y'all love it. We love Story of Seasons here, and the remakes have been fire recently. They've been fire. So, and then I would have to say probably Star Sand Island. It raised a lot of money on Kickstarter. It looks really promising, and I'm really excited for it. Hello, my name is It's BB. I am the director and creative mind behind this video, and I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for watching it. Big shout out to the VTubers for participating, and my editor, User Intel, for bringing it to life. This project was near and dear to my heart, so I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed creating it. Please check out everyone who participated using their links below in the description, and thank you very much for watching!